Are you guys ready to learn?
Yep.
Okay. So you made all this money, right?
Yes.
Okay. Move your hands. Okay, so you made all this money, and now the government comes in and they leave you with only that much out of that much. Listen, but you worked really hard for all that money, huh? Okay, so your sister, she doesn't want to work, so she's going to get that much money to do nothing. And then the rest of this will just go to nothing but the Chinese.
Hey, she took my money.
It's her money because she got some of what you worked for because she didn't want to work.
That's just life. I know, it's sad.
That's literally the same reaction I have when I have to pay taxes. Welcome back, beautiful and amazing human beings. My name's Luke Radowski here of WeAreChange.org, and there's a lot of absolutely wild and bewildering news, as of course things are not looking all right here in the United States, as there's another mercenary trying to finance and fill his coffers with American tax dollars in order to fulfill a larger, insane proxy war that they are hell-bent on trying to fund. This, plus a lot of new domestic lawfare news, is what we are going to be talking about here on this independent media broadcast. If you like the shirt that I'm wearing right now, you can get it on thebestpoliticalshirts.com. And the clip that we played in the beginning of this broadcast was originally shared by @WallStreetSilver. I don't know who this father is, but I think he definitely deserves the Father of the Year award. As of course, the lessons that he just taught his children are something that every child should go through. And finding out how taxes work is probably just as bad as finding out that Santa is not real. This, as a lot of things here in the United States aren't true. Things like, the American dream, which George Carlin said you have to be asleep in order to believe. This, as CBS News is reporting that the, quote, American dream costs far more than most people will earn over their lifetime, as new analysis when it comes to financial stability for most Americans, which attributed the cost of getting married, having children, saving for retirement, estimated that most Americans can't afford that. This, as of course a lot of our money is being taken away from us with theft, which some bureaucratic government officials call taxes for some strange reasons. They're not taxes, they are theft and nothing else more. As of course we have to finance many corrupted industries all throughout the United States, the biggest one of which is of course the medical industrial complex that includes Big Pharma, that includes the insurance companies, that includes all the corrupted doctors and institutions who have been bought off by special interests that are also being socialized through your theft. This, as we pay record amounts of money for healthcare and literally have some of the worst ranked healthcare in the world and overall health. And don't worry, to add insult to injury, the Washington Post is reporting today that pharmacies are even sharing your medical data with police officers without even a warrant. Yeah, because who needs, privacy, secrecy, the ability to have any kind of decent interaction or life without the police officers snooping into your purchases of erectile dysfunction pills. All, of course, as this country is failing, as the IQ overall is dropping scores in mathematics, reading, science down dramatically, and probably will continue to go down from here as we are becoming the epitome of idiocracy, which is becoming more and more of a documentary every single day as the politicians are too busy creating legal lawfare against each other. This, as the House Speaker just announced that there now, out of nowhere, is evidence that, quote, can't be ignored and might actually have the current president of the United States impeached. This, as of course, impeachment has also been weaponized inside of Washington, D.C., as the former president of the United States was politically impeached. Will Biden now be impeached and potentially kicked out of the 2024 presidential election cycle? Well, that's one possibility, as of course the prosecution of the former president is wrapping up, as U.S. overzealous federal prosecutor Jack Smith, according to Axios now, will be using Donald Trump's private phone data during his trial, including, of course, going into the Twitter app where the federal government will be looking at everything that was typed and even deleted by the former president of the United States on the particular J6 incident. This says there's a high probability that Donald Trump will be found guilty, especially in very biased political jurisdictions like New York City, where the jury is just a little politically biased there. This, as the legal lawfare is extending and expanding to even mainline institutions like Harvard, Penn State, MIT. This, as we are getting the latest news that the Harvard University is going to be standing behind their president, as there are reports of them losing nearly $1 billion in donations since her disastrous congressional testimony over political expression and thought on college campuses. Now, I definitely have more of a nuanced perspective on all of this. I'm going to be talking about that, plus a lot more, as well as a lot of other controversial issues, specifically on LukeUnfiltered.com, with a special broadcast available for members right after this broadcast. But before getting into that, I wanted to tell you about WeAreChange.Shop, where now you could conveniently buy the ultimate bundle for just $74.99. This, as of course, we have our own line of products that I am very proud to stand behind, as of course this is something that I travel with. This is something that I personally use every time right before I go on the Beanie podcast show. 30 minutes right before, I usually take TakeCalm.com, our full spectrum 1,000 milligram CBD oil. Magnesium glycinate also with me always with the last meal of the day. For me personally, helps me sleep. I've been calculating my sleep data on now 2 health trackers, and yeah, this stuff for me makes a big difference. And then, of course, we have fish oils that are really good for your heart and your brain overall health. I'm taking that, plus even some other supplements, since I am on the road and we are traveling and are very busy here, working our butts off here at this independent media organization. As of course, next week we are flying out to Phoenix, Arizona for AmpFest, where we are going to be doing a special live broadcast with Tucker Carlson. Again, lots of stress, lots of extra work, lots of things happening behind the scenes. I get really tired, I get really burnt out, and truly, being able to have supplements has helped me out tremendously during these very stressful, difficult times for me that are very strenuous. They help me, they might help you, so you should check out WeAreChange.Shop and all the supplements that we have available for you, since, of course, they also make really great gifts for individuals. Just make sure you're taking the right things that are right for you as an individual. Talk to your medical professional, do your blood tests. Make sure that overall what you're doing are the right decisions for yourself as an individual. As of course, these things personally help me. They might help you, but I don't know. We also have a lot of facts. We also have a lot of resources. We also have a lot of videos with all the data, all available on WeAreChange.Shop. The link is down in the description below. You buying these supplements helps support and grow this independent media organization. Check out WeAreChange.Shop and get yourself and your family members some really awesome supplements that could help them. This says there's a lot of people asking for help, the latest of which is, of course, Volodymyr Zelensky, that is back here in the United States asking for more American tax-paying dollars to finance his larger proxy conflict that he is involved in against Russia. This, as there are a lot of members of Congress, predominantly from the Democratic Party, that are in favor of giving him more and more of our money to continue and prolong this conflict that has had an absolutely devastating toll on the people of Ukraine. This, as Volodymyr Zelensky is asking for $61 billion. As the New York Post is reporting that this is his last-ditched plea to get money for the American people in order to fight and prolong a war in the region that his citizens are paying the ultimate price for. This says, of course, it's fair to say that the Ukrainian government and military are in a very desperate situation. This says we are also getting some news reports that Ukraine is announcing that they might be considering conscripting men over the age of 40, as already there are some other reports detailing how men at the age of 60 are sometimes even on the front lines of this proxy conflict. This as we're getting some new reports from the front lines detailing how the Russians have had some military success near Bakhmut, and within the last few days were able to take over more of Ukrainian territory. All of this as support and supplies are fleeting, even including the Soviet era munitions that Ukraine has that we're being told are also running in low supply. You add that to the fact of just the raw amount of manpower and resources that Russia has comparatively to Ukraine, which is a lot smaller of a country. And even though Ukraine has some of the best and latest NATO technology, it's fair to say that this stalemate is definitely at a turning point, especially with the latest territorial victories by the Russians that are showing a very bad outcome for the people of Ukraine. This as there are other news reports detailing how Ukraine is, quote, on the cusp of losing this war, and how essentially they are screwed, and we're dealing with the potential end of Volodymyr Zelensky, the president of Ukraine, who, according to unheard.com, is also facing calls for his ouster and regime change within his own country. All of this as a lot of Americans are kind of asking themselves, hey, we're going to give them $61 billion of our money. What's the objective here? What's the goal? What is going to happen when we do that? And of course, we still haven't been given a clear answer on this, as there's other mainline political figures talking about how the United States and Ukraine must accept that they will have to cede some territory over to the Russians. This says, of course, now we got more unconfirmed reports that Russia could deploy nukes in Ukraine, and again, a story that is very convenient. Why would the president of Russia now deploy and potentially even utilize nukes in a situation which clearly he is winning, and slowly and surely taking over more and more territory? This as the new globalist prime minister of Poland just demanded a, quote, full mobilization of the West in order to help Ukraine, as of course Polish government officials, German government officials have been essentially talking about the larger need and possibility of a potential full all-out NATO war with Russia. Now, will this full mobilization happen? Well, again, what's the cost here? What's the objectives? That's something that a lot of people should be asking themselves here, as this is not a good situation that we're in. It's not good for Ukraine. It's not good for NATO. It's not good for Europe. It's not good for the United States, as of course the Democrats are holding on to this losing war, because if they do officially lose it, you could bet your bottom dollar this is going to have tremendous ramifications on the political scene here, especially during an election year, which is going to play an absolutely crucial role in. So this is why the Democrats are holding on and sacrificing more poor Ukrainian men, as of course the rich men were able to fly out, were able to buy people off, as of course Ukraine is filled with a lot of corrupted bureaucrats, as many reports have come in that a lot of the aid, a lot of the support, a lot of the money has just gone completely missing, and some of the poor people on the front lines don't even have the proper equipment to fight that conflict. But hey, yeah, why not just give them $61 additional billion? Because why not? Why are we doing this? That's the question that I think everyone should be asking themselves. And if you agree, share this video with your friends and family members. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you guys actively supporting and being here with this independent media organization. I got one more video coming your way about some really spicy topics that we can't discuss here on this particular platform, all on lukeunfiltered.com. Also, later on today, 6 p.m., we're going to be live with Dave Smith here on this independent media broadcast. As, of course, we're going to be doing another live stream, 8 p.m. I'm going to be on the Beanie Cast. Again, super busy. Very happy I got my supplements. Get them too on WeAreChangeDotShop. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you guys getting them, supporting me, watching all these videos, and that's why I love you guys. Stay tuned for more here on WeAreChange.org.